The whole point of our brand is just to make it easier for people to keep their houseplants alive. So a lot of people think they have a black thumb, everything they bring home dies, and they're like, I don't know, it's just not for me. That's exactly how I was. And we're trying to make something so it's easier for you to keep your plants alive. So if you look at our soil, so if you can like come up if you want and like put your hands in it, it's dry, it's chunky, it's gritty. So when you do plant with it, it creates mini air pockets in your planter so your roots can breathe. It gets constant aeration, and that's really important for your plants. Just like people, plants don't care what they eat if they can't breathe. If they can't breathe, they're not going to survive very long. So all of our different soils that we have really are anchored in that. It is just like the particle size. The ingredients are all super porous. So when you do water, they absorb all that moisture, and anything it can't hold just drains out the bottom drainage hole. So the water can find its way out because of the chunkiness and grittiness, but enough moisture is held in your vessel, in your pot, to create humidity, constant humidity around your roots, and that's really what your plant likes. So you don't have to mix it anymore if you don't want to. We have done it for you and bagged it in sizes that are easy for you to bring in your home, keep in your plant room, or you say it's your office, but it's really your plant room, like me. It can stay inside. It's not going to get gross when you open it. Fungus gnats are not going to fly out. You won't have that problem. And then we also provide a lot of the different amendments that are really hard to find, that people are really liking. So Lucca balls, if you like to propagate, I do all of my props in Lucca balls. Chunky perlite. Our pumice is really nice. We dry our pumice before we bag it. So you're never going to get to the middle of the bag and it's not going to be like grody and gross. And we also have calcined clay. Calcined clay is one of my favorite ingredients. It's kind of like underutilized. Not a lot of people know about it. But a lot of people use sand, right? If they're like making either a terrarium or making their own mix. But sand doesn't really do much. It's just like tiny little rocks, and it doesn't do anything. Calcined clay is a little bit larger particle size and super porous, so it will absorb the water, but it's more of a slow, uniform release, so you're not going to have any of that excess like sogginess. So we've started to get into some of these hard goods too. So has anyone used a repotting scoop before? Okay, well, today's your lucky day. You're gonna love it, and you're never not going to repot that one. I brought one for all of you guys, but we've just been using things at home that, like a mini Dixie cup or something, and we're like, let's just do something that's more like sturdy, the size is right to like scoop in your bag. So we have those, and then we also came out with a little teaspoon for some of our fertilizers. So we don't have any fertilizer or additives in our mixes, so it is important to still fertilize on your own. But a lot of people get stressed out, right, about what if I use too much and I burn out my plant, or I've read like if I use this then I can't use that. It shouldn't be that complicated. So we do have a set of 4 that we have. They're all natural. They're easy to use. They come in like a little like 4-ounce sachet, but the serving size is only a teaspoon, so it lasts a really long time. So we have like a little teaspoon that we use for that as well. But I mean, the whole point of our brand is just to make it easy. There's just 2 of us. We're really nimble. We love to hear from our customers. If you see us like on Instagram, it's literally like either me or Travis. Or if you send us an email, it's in response to you, it's me or Travis. So if there's anything ever that you guys see that you were hoping like someone would make, or you have a suggestion, or you have a question about, I don't know, how to use something that's in the bag that you bought, we're always happy to help out with that too. So I have scoops for all you guys if you'd like to come grab it. A little like info card with like a cute picture of us. We're not married and we're not together. Everyone else, we're not. He has a fiance and I have a family. We don't live in the same state. We're just like good friends who just happen to be good at really different things but have the same similar style. So
I'm actually going to pass the Leah balls around so that you guys can see them. I don't know if you've ever seen these before, but you will see them in their mixes too. You can see through the bag and feel them. They're lightweight. Do Could you talk a little bit more about what people use those for?
Yeah. So Leca balls are one of my favorite things. Okay, so here's the deal. Like, I know a lot about houseplants now, but I didn't know anything when I started a year and a half ago. Like, when Travis asked me to, like, quit my career and work for him, I was like, but I don't know anything about plants. I don't even have one because they all died. And he's like, not a problem. I need your skill set, and I can teach you how to, like, keep your plants alive. And I was like, all right. The week after I started, Travis moved from Minnesota to California with his fiance. She got accepted into the UCLA residency program. So he couldn't bring all of his plants. He's like, okay, these are yours now. And I was like, so what should I do with them? Like, what do I do? He's like, it's super easy. Just water like every 14 days, like set a reminder in your calendar, like you're good to go. And I was like, not how I've been watering my plants. Maybe that's why they're dead. But once I was able to keep them alive, it was so much fun. So like I went from having like 0 plants to like 10, and now I have like more than 50, which is weird to say. I know, it's so weird. But I started being interested in figuring out how to propagate. So I saw like everyone else doing it. I was like, I need to figure out how to do it because I can't like talk about it if I don't know how to do it. And everything I put in like just straight water always rotted, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I think I wasn't changing the water enough, or like the oxygen wasn't quite right. So with Leca, I have really great luck with Leca. Everything I put in Leca has rooted. I actually like keep something like a spider plant semi-hydro in Leca right now. But you take your cutting, put it in whatever you want, like a jar or a pint glass or something. Fill around it with Leca, and then we just keep it like a third full of water on the bottom. And the Leca balls are so porous. Leca stands for lightweight expanded clay aggregate. It's super porous, so the water on the bottom gets wicked up, and it creates humidity around your cutting. So your cutting doesn't necessarily need to be in water. It just needs to be kept humid so it can start to root. It's really fun to start to see it root. And then you'll know too if you want to move it to soil when it's ready. But I don't like change the water at all. I just keep adding more. So I don't know, they're like little magic little pebbles. But
Do you mix it into soil sometimes too? Or
yeah. We use it as one of our main ingredients in all of our soils. Most of them, except for orchid. But they're really great. They, especially like the sides and like their structure, they make it a really nice. They give your soil some structure, but also create those neat air pockets within your planter.
This is the houseplant chunky mix. So we use a lot of this. So the first time I saw them at the show, it was like 2 or 3 years ago, and it was. I go to these trade shows, you know, as a small business person, looking for like the new and different cool stuff, and I'm like, wow, look at that soil. That's so different. I'm like, okay, we'll try it. So I got a little bit. We got a couple big boxes for us to try on our stuff. And then we put it in this. So when we repot things, we'll repot using this. And we have had such great success with it. It's so nice. I really love the chunky, but we had never seen anything like that. Mm-hmm. It really was the only thing on the market that I had seen.
But our mixes are much more forgiving. So like if you're an overwaterer and say you water like a lot of people overwater. It's like it's hard not to, right? Like you're poking around, you're like, oh, looks like it needs some water. If you water too much, if those components in the soil are already like full of moisture, they're not going to hold on to it anymore. It'll just drain out the bottom. And then because they're like inorganic components, like the leca, like the pumice, like the perlite, it's a more uniform dry time, so you can actually go longer between your waterings too. So it's kind of like a safety net. No matter what kind of water or plant parent you are, it'll be okay. Like I usually water my tropicals every 10 days. Travis waters his every 14. One time I went 3 weeks because I was like traveling a lot at these trade shows Kelly's talking about, and they were okay. They were very thirsty, but they were okay. They didn't die. So it's just fun to be able to like try different plants too, like with the ones who are like notoriously like hard plants. Like I've tried them and I'm like, I can keep because I have the soil, I know how to feed them now. It's not so hard. But I totally get why it feels really hard if you're using like a traditional potting mix that's actually supposed to be for outdoors. And like that's kind of the thing, right? Like all of these other like indoor potting mixes you see, they're not actually made for inside. They're the outdoor soil with maybe a few more ingredients, just put in a smaller bag. Because the big guys are not trying to service who we are trying to service and reach. They just see it as like kind of like a niche thing. So not all the soils are the same. Like if you were to tear every one open that you see on the shelf today that it says indoor, they're going to be completely different than what we have in our bag today. Yes, they're so wet. They're stored outside, so there's stuff in it too. Yeah. But we just came out with a seedling and propagation mix. So I brought a few bags, 2 bags, if anyone is really into like either seed starting or you don't like water or luck at a prop, you try this. It's like fine art, still soil less and peat free. It's core, calcine clay, and a little bit of a jump starter. It's our soil salvation, which is biochar and earthworm castings, and then just a little bit of our true fertilizer as like an NPK 633.
Can you talk a little bit about biochar? They probably don't know much. Does anyone know about biochar? It's relatively new. Like,
Biochar is relatively new. It's an amendment. It's interesting because there are a lot of potting mixes out there that are like biochar based, and we wouldn't recommend a biochar based potting soil. It's great for an amendment, but you only want a little bit. It's basically just like charred wood. That's all biochar is. It's charred wood. It does give some different types of nutrition, but you can get that nutrition in other places too. Just depends like what you're combining it with and like what you're trying to do. But if you use too much of it, it's like pretty dense and it'll just end up suffocating your plant. So we find it interesting that some of our friends and competitors are using like biochar as a base. Like we feel like it'd be too much. Some people like mix ours with a biochar base, which essentially that's just amending, like adding something to ours. So it's kind of cool that it's, I guess, kind of renewable, but you're still like burning wood. So for ours, like in our fertilizer, it's just a little bit. Like you just use 1 teaspoon, and it's like, I think it's like 30% biochar, 30% earthworm casting, like some other stuff. So it can be definitely beneficial. It just depends like how much you're using and what size pot. So, and maybe that was not the answer you were looking for.
No, that's great. Because I know we do carry. I just brought one in of a competitor that has a biochar base, and I was using that as like an amendment.
Yes,
because
they
actually redid their soil. So I talked to them at the last show, and they redid their soil, and she gave me a couple samples. I was like, oh yeah, it is a little bit lighter, but I was using it, like you said, as an amendment and not a straight soil because I prefer the chunkier for all the reasons you listed.
Yeah.
But I was just kind of adding it in as like a little extra. Yeah. Kind of darkens it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's great for that. I don't know, it's kind of fun just to like make it your own too. I mean, if you have a good base, you can kind of add whatever you want to it, and it's kind of fun.
So for the propagation soil, you just take the plant and put it right in.
Yeah, I would. So if you're using like a small, like 2-inch pot or something to start it in, I would get it wet first. Just kind of like the other types of like certain mixes you would use. But because of the calcine clay, like in a true seedling type mix, if you go on vacation or if you go out of town for the weekend, those suckers are dead when you get back, right? But because we have some of that calcine clay in it, they'll stay more moist for longer, so you can go a couple of days. Like I watered my, I have a couple in this mix at my house, and so I watered them yesterday. When I get home tomorrow afternoon, they'll be fine. But if they were in any other like seedling mix, they for sure be fine. be like the little string bang things.
Yeah. Interesting.
Well, thanks for supporting us, Kelly. Really happy to be
Thanks
here.
for coming.
Love
All this
seeing
way
your stuff
for our little
everywhere.
shop. I
Yes,
love it.
yes. And we just got a 10-quart bag that I saw you guys have too. So
Yep.
we're moving into 10 quarts is as big as we'll get. It's like 2.5 gallons. We don't want to get into like the 1 yard thing. It's just like not really what we do. But the 10-quart bag is a great option. It's a little bit more, so it's 2.5 times the size of like a gallon bag, which used to be our largest size, for only about like $10 more. So it's a great deal. I can now that we're scaling, I can buy all of our ingredients and components in like full truckloads or half truckloads instead of like 3 or 4 pallets at a time. So we're excited to start passing those savings to our customers and to you guys too. So
I love the bigger bags. 'Cause,
they're nice,
I mean,
yeah.
when we carried it the last couple of years, like people will come in and they'll get like multiple little bags. And I'm like,
Yes.
"Don't you have this in a bigger size?"
know.
I'm like, "No,
I know.
this is it. I'm sorry."
I know. Now you do.
Yes.
Feel nice.
Yes.
Yeah. So. Cool. Well, yeah. If you guys wanna like take a look at the, would you say a perlite down? Or
Yeah, I
the
got perlite
perlite down there too.
And then remember, all the soul soils, any of our products are 10% off tonight only, too. If you wanted to try anything out.
And scoops are free. They're on-
Scoops are free.
Yeah.